a sudden, I found myself in love with the world, so there was only one thing that I could do, was ding-a-ding-dang, my dang-along-ling-long.
Parenting's changed quite a bit. No spanking anymore. Your kids can like call the police on you. You know, I didn't grow up in that era. I was like afraid of my parents. Where you didn't mess with your parents.
No.
Now your kids like threaten you. Not that I have kids that age anymore.
No.
But I remember towards the end of raising a couple of kids that they were joking with me, like, yeah, I'll call the police. I'm like, really?
Really?
I'm like, really? You can call police? I'll call the freaking police. I'm not calling any police. You won't be around to call the police. What are you talking about? No, they were joking, but nowadays kids do that, though. It's like, you're going to spank me. I'm going to call the police on you. You're like, what would you do as a parent now?
Raise a bunch of self-entitled children that just have no respect for anything.
I got spanked as a kid. You get spanked.
I did, but very early on, not when I got much older. But I remember at least one time where I got into some stuff, and Dad put it down. I was like, okay, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that again.
No, heck no.
The belt.
No, my dad wasn't a belt guy.
I didn't get the belt.
No,
my mother was a disciplinarian.
Oh, the kid down the street. Holy wow. I remember that kid. His mom went one time out in the driveway, just beat him senseless in the driveway. That was actually horrific, because I remember that to this day, and it's like burned into my memory. His mom just coming out and just clocking him out in the driveway and not stopping.
I mean, like punching him.
Yeah, I mean, just full on, both hands, just like Joe Frazier coming in at you. And we sat there on our bikes, just looking at it, going, what the heck? And you couldn't figure, it was kind of the bully of the neighborhood. And it was like all of a sudden a lot of things became apparent, in your life, right? Looking at how was this kid treated? No wonder he treats us all like shit.
Were you thinking that then, though? I mean, you must have been a little bit like, there you go.
No, you know what? There was a part of my gut that just said, you know what? That is wrong. That is so wrong on so many different levels. It was just at my core, it was wrong. And so, I've got 3 great kids, and
she probably couldn't have. She wouldn't have gotten in trouble back then, though.
Oh no,
no, you could beat the hell out of your kids, and
I don't know.
I'm talking about when we were growing up.
Well, that was a kid about our age and a little bit older.
Yeah, she wouldn't have gotten in trouble. The police would have come by and said, "Well, stop misbehaving."
The police were at their house often, so that was one of those deals. Yeah. Very sad. Very sad.
Kids don't get spanked anymore at all.
Well, I think there's a fine line there, right? And I think you can discipline without,
Well, I mean, that's our generation. I'm talking about, right? So I didn't do it either, right? I thought that there were different methods you could do it, but growing up in the 70s, parents loved to smack you around.
I kind of come from the...
It's not like I'm not being a martyr. I didn't take a beating or anything. I thought it was applicable for the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You do something, you get spanked.
Well, it's escalating effort of force, right? And I think they teach that to the cops, right? It's, what level of force is appropriate for the situation.
Yeah, so I take a Reese's peanut butter cup off the kitchen table and I get a beating.
It was my Reese's cup.
That's what my mother said. She sounded like that, too.
She grabbed the spoon out of the drawer, started chasing you down.
Yeah, the wooden spoon.
The wooden spoon.
Oh, no, we got the that paddle with the ball on it. She'd buy them in bulk.
Paddle with the ball.
You remember
the
that
little doinky thing with the rubber
band on it.
Oh,
right?
man.
She'd buy those in bulk at the dollar store.
Oh, it wasn't for kid fun, was it?
No, she'd ripped all the balls off and put them in the drawer, and you knew what they were for. Had that little logo on it too. It was like a fun logo, but it wasn't fun anymore.
It wasn't fun anymore.
It wasn't. It was like, oh great, Mom just bought a new set
So now every
Ping
time you
pong
see
pal.
those as an adult, you start to cringe.
Yeah,
a
I go
little
through
bit.
they have them at the dollar store. You go through the dollar store, and you're like, oh my god, there's the paddle.
There's no remember when you bought those for your kids in a fit of nostalgia at the gift store, right?
No. Yeah, they're only made out of balsa wood.
I don't know. I think you could. Yeah, I think that would be enough.
When you're 3 years old, taking it, that's all you need. And just like most kids back then, I put my hands back there.
Oh,
So it's mostly hitting my fingers.
yeah.
I get to stand up against the wall or over the knee thing, and I would just basically be hit on the hands a bunch, and she'd be fighting me to move it. I'm like, no.
Well, let's talk about fun things that we used to get as kids. I'm thinking about the cap guns. Are you a roll guy or the little disc? So you had roll caps. And
I had both.
You had both. Okay.
I had both. I would say I was more of a not the roll, the other one, the paper ones.
The plastic. There's a plastic.
There's a plastic insert.
Right.
That you put had probably
About eight, nine shots on it.
shots on
Yeah.
it. The reason I like the other ones, the paper ones, is because you could put them on the ground and put a rock on them and make them pop.
Oh yeah. You can take that whole pile and drop a big rock on them.
Yeah, and watch it go bam.
I had a crazy neighbor. He was my best friend. So there was a construction
I think
site.
we just got me out of a therapy session. I think I was in therapy for about 4 minutes there.
What am I, Jordan Peterson here?
All right. Why did they do that to me?
Get over it, suck it up, and move on. That's Jordan Peterson.
I didn't say I cared about it. I'm simply saying it happened. Jordan Peterson would be like, yeah, you probably deserved it, you little bastard. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay, moving back to cap guns. Yeah, I had both.
All right. So we had a construction site near our house, and my buddy found a bunch of the 22 caliber charges for the old nail guns, because remember, they didn't have pneumatic nail guns. So this is when the 22 caliber ones started popping in, literally, no pun intended. He found a case of these things. So what does a dumbass do? He goes out in the street with a big old rock and starts dropping them on these 22 caliber things. I mean, they're popping off pretty nice, you know. So the whole neighborhood of kids is out there with rocks, dropping them on these things. Next thing you know, kids are getting like little shrapnel of metal stuck in their legs. What a bunch of dumbasses we were.
Yeah, I didn't do that, but
Hey, we were having fun.
sounds like it was good times, though.
It was fun.
What'd you do if you did that now? This is the whole point of this remember when. If you did that now, they'd call the police on you.
Oh, the bomb squad would be called, you know,
Yeah.
there'd be like 10 lawsuits. The ATF would show up.
You cannot have cap gun. They still sell them at the dollar store.
Oh, for
There's
cap
a-
guns? Yeah.
I think that's the only place you can get that kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah, I haven't even seen a decent cap gun in 20 years anywhere.
No, they freak out about everything. I mean, they put the little orange ends on them so that you would know that they were fake. And I understand that in today's day and age because people don't know. But back then it wasn't like that. You just go
No.
out there and start, popping off your friends.
We used to have the old sticker guns with the little sticker orange thing, you know. It was like a suction dart.
Oh yeah,
Those guns were kind of fun.
Those
we
were
had
fun.
those.
Oh, do you remember jarts?
Oh, yes. I saw some at the flea market the other day. I almost paid $30 for them. I said, oh, kids, we got to play with these out in the yard.
I'm gonna berate my parents again for just a second.
Do you want to lay down?
Yeah, they're still alive. So
Tell me about your
they
childhood.
might come again. Back to therapy. They let me play with jarts. I'm talking about the original jarts that had the big spiky ends on them. I'd be out in the backyard and throwing up these unpredictable things and trying to basically avoid them on their way down.
Mm-hmm.
That's
There
the
was
best-
like a little circle, and you could stand in the circle and see if you could throw it up, land it in the circle without impaling yourself.
Yeah, a lot of kids got nailed.
Not that I ever did that.
A lot of kids got nailed though. That's
Oh,
why.
yeah.
That's why they turned it into like jarts with rubber duckies on the end of them.
Or now you got the what is it? The little sandbag things that they're throwing into the holes at the
cornhole.
Cornhole, yeah.
Cornhole.
What a terrible name
Cornhole.
for cornhole.
Is that what they call that?
I believe so. Yeah.
Because originally I think it was corn husk inside the bag, you know. But
Oh,
I
is
was
that
like,
what it was?
who thought up that name? That was just not thinking on the marketing strategy.
Well, you can't play dodgeball anymore either. Do they still do that in schools, you think? Dodgeball?
Well, I know a homeschool group that did.
That seems appropriate.
Yeah. No wusses there.
Just nail you.
Oh, just whip it at your head.
I loved it. It's like that game that nobody liked. They always say dodgeball terrorized them.
I kind of enjoyed it,
I
actually.
enjoyed it.
Until that one kid that, you know, who was shaving in 6th grade, you know, got the ball.
Comes at you.
It's like, oh, no. And he's like, you know, snorting and
Coming after you with a big rubber ball. Well, they make that. You play kickball with those things. Oh, those big red balls.
oh, yeah,
Big
kickball.
red.
Kickball was the thing.
What
I
about-
think they still do that. That's safe.
Kickball. But
Yeah.
dodgeball would be considered bullying now.
Yeah, probably.
Not the bullying. I'm not saying bullying doesn't happen. It's terrible, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, those are some of the life lessons you learn.
That builds character.
It does.
I'm going to get nailed for that one.
No, yeah. And we're going to hear about it. But no, I mean, I was bullied on the bus as a kid. They're going to be,
Yeah,
oh,
well,
no.
and just for the audience, I was too.
Yeah.
I had guys that would pick me out for no, I didn't even know who they were.
Yeah.
And they'd say, you, after that, when we get off the bus, we're fighting. I'd be like, why? I don't even know who you are. And they'd still beat the shit out of me.
They used to steal my hat. So in the wintertime, they would grab my hat and like fling it around the bus, you know.
You know what's funny about bullies? It's like you don't know who they are. It's kind of like sex offenders. Like they look like the regular dudes. Like I've never had anybody admit that they were a bully.
No.
Like it's always somebody else that was the bully. You know.
Well, I think during the course of your life, do you go through like a phase where you're the victim and then at some point maybe you engage a little bit in the bullying? Because
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, school is difficult. I've always said that being like 15, 16, 17 is like the toughest part of your life. You know, you're really trying to figure yourself out and you know what you're doing. But even when you're younger, I mean, the bullying takes place. I remember being in kindergarten and the special needs kid, that's what we'll call him.
Okay.
For the sake of not getting nailed more on this
no, you're
podcast.
good. That's safe.
That kid would terrorize me every day. He'd come after me. He's twice my size. And nonsensical. Well, I'm in therapy today.
I was just going to ask, are you sure you don't want to lay down?
Yeah. Is there a couch in
Tell
here?
me about your childhood.
How does that make you feel?
I don't feel too good about it. I was terrorized. Although I did think my teacher was hot, though. Even when I was in kindergarten, she'd sit there and eat yogurt. And I'd be like, trying to be cool.
Very interesting. I think there is a Freudian angle on this.
Yeah, there could be. I probably didn't know it at the time. I didn't realize it at the time. She'd just sit in the corner and eat yogurt, and I was like, wow, she looks hot. I was like in kindergarten. I don't know what I was thinking. Same thing with my 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Fenimore, if you're out there. She probably looks like 80
Like
now.
80 years old. She's
Call
got
up.
a pension,
She's got a pension. She'll probably call me up now.
12 cats.
Right, yeah. At the time, though, we lived in the same apartment complex. I told you about this. And she's out there in her bikini one day. I was trying to act all cool. I was like 8. Throw the ball up and like jump in the pool and be like trying to get her to see me. And her boyfriend comes out because she told me it was her boyfriend because I asked. Like, who's that?
Who's that, man?
Who's that? Guy's
Is
like
that
a
my
body-
competition?
Well, so the guy comes out. I'm thinking I'm doing all these moves to try to like make her notice me, as if I'm gonna hit the spot or something. And he's like a bodybuilder, so he came out. I was totally emasculated. It's like there's nothing I can do in this pool that's gonna beat that.
I am Hans. I am Franz. I'm here to pump you up.
Pump you up. He was enormous. I was like,